Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to sort out an issue on the pinball machine which I've been having with one of the buttons, and I'll show you how I fixed the problem with the nudge when I was using the flipper, especially the one on the right hand side, and it was nudging when I wasn't pushing the nudge button, which is that one, and that's the flipper button. Hence I moved the original one from there down to there to avoid touching it, but the vibration was still setting it off when I was using the flippers, and sometimes that's annoying when you're trying to hold the ball and it nudges and it bumps the ball and you lose it. So I'll show you how I fixed that issue, and I'm going to show you this button here, the back button. It seems to be worn out or something. It doesn't always work. For instance, if I go into something, press the back button, no response, no response. There, it took about 5 presses to get a response. So I'm going to swap that button out. I have a spare one. I can't remember what this was of. I'm going to replace it with that. So I'm going to include that in the video, the replacing of this button. So I'm just going to remove the front panel and side panels. There's a whole lot of screws to undo. Then I'll continue the video from there. Okay, so I've removed the 2 side panels, the 2 side bars, whatever, that hold everything in place, and the one on the front. And I've taken the front panel out. That's just basically that wire and the other one that connects into the USB connector there. So there's the button that I'm going to change. Let me just see if I can get my torch angled in here. So this is the one I need to change. It's quite simple. Just have to remember, black connector is on that side, red on that side. I don't think it's too serious, but red on the left. At least I've got it recorded in case. Now to get this undone, that's not too tight. At least that's coming loose. Just with one hand, it's a bit awkward. So that's easy enough to undo that. That simply comes off, that threaded bit, and then our button comes out, and then we have the new button. I'm going to install that now, see if I can do it with one hand. We've got Fizz the cat having a sleep on the homemade pinball machine. It's got its own pillow on there, and this is the friendly neighborhood cat that's come inside. It's having a sleep, it's had some attention. So that button just fits straight into that hole. I'm going to put it that way with the arrow facing that way to show that it's back. Right, I'll drop that in there. Now I'll just have to get this nut on here. Bear with me a second. Get that lined up the way I want it. And then we just tighten up that nut on there. Okay, that's all tight. Button's in, it feels okay. That may have been the original one that was on there actually. Just putting the connectors back onto that. And then we're basically good to go. So that's been changed. We'll test it in a minute. Now, this mechanism that I was talking about, take that packet out of there. There's some screws in that packet, which I'll explain just now what that's all about. So what I basically did, the mechanism normally sits, I don't know if you can see it here, and it's a bit awkward to get light on there, but it normally sits there where my finger is. That's where that nudge and tilt mechanism sits. when you get the machine. It's on the right hand side of the machine, and I've moved it down. Let me just get some light on the scene here. I moved it down to here where the plunger sits. See, that's the plunger mechanism. I've mounted it onto the leg of that, where the plunger mechanism is held onto the box basically. So where those white wires go in there, that is the tilt and nudge mechanism. So I just put a bit of padding on it. I think it's just a cloth or something I put on there, yeah, that's right. And I just basically strapped it on there with some insulation tape, and that works a treat. I don't have that issue anymore where I'm pressing the flipper button and it thinks I'm nudging, which I won't be doing because it was picking up the vibration through the side of the case there. It was too close to the side of the case. That's a much better place to position it. That gets rid of that issue. I contacted their support, they couldn't help me with it. So I had to think, and one day I decided, right, I'll sort the issue out myself. And like I say, that works perfect like that. And it is plugged into this box that the plunger is attached to in any case. Just that instead of having it down there, it's now down there, a bit further in, not against the case, not picking up the vibration. As a result, I didn't need the extra screws, and that's what's in the bag. All the screws to hold it onto the case, etc., onto that plastic housing. They've taken them all off. So now that we've changed the button, I'm just going to connect the panel back up, and then we'll give it a test to see. I'm going to leave these screws in there in case I ever need to mount that back on the side for whatever reason. So I'm going to put my panel back on with my buttons and my joystick, etc., and fire it up and give it a test. Okay, so I've put my panel back on there. I haven't screwed that down or put the edging back on yet. I just wanted to test it out. It's possible that I changed this button before, because I'm sure that was the original one that was in there, and I changed it for the same reason. So I may still need to buy a better one. For the flippers I used leaf spring buttons, and they work a hell of a lot better because there's no play in them, which is what you want with flipper buttons. So let's have a look. Yep, I'm having the same issue. And that's why I changed that button before. I don't have any other buttons to change it with, so I'm going to have to redo that. But anyway, hopefully you found this a bit interesting, especially the bit about the tilt and nudge mechanism, how to overcome that issue. And hopefully the manufacturers of these machines take note and change it, because it is a pain when you're trying to hold a ball with a flipper and it nudges for no reason and you lose the ball, or it tilts. It used to sometimes just tilt on me because it was picking up as if I was nudging all the time, which I wasn't. And then it would tilt and I would lose the ball, lose my score, my bonuses, etc. And it was becoming really annoying. So I've now solved that issue. It's working perfect now. So anyway, hopefully you found that a bit interesting. I'm going to have to get another button for that. That was the original one that was on there. So that's also no good. You know, got to press it about 4 or 5 times before it works, which is a bit annoying. So I'll have to see if I can find a better quality one online and change it out. Anyway, until the next one, I'll be doing some more videos of pinball tables, etc., with commentary in the future coming up. You know, within the next week or two, I'll do some more videos. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy your gaming. Have a great Christmas and all the best for the new year if I don't put out any videos before then. And I hope that you all stay safe and well. And from me and Kat, bye-bye for now.